Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys here this Tuesday. Tuesday, the 19th of September, 2023. Thank you for tuning in. Final Fed rate hike. It says stock markets rallies last gasp. You know, you guys got to understand something about all these rate hikes that occurred so very quickly. They have a lagging effect. And we haven't felt the effect yet of one of the fastest rate hike cycles in history. We have not felt the effect yet. But the economy's not good anyway. Uh, what's happening right now is actually worse than what happened in the 2008 financial crisis, what they call the GFC. It's worse and got more energy to give us what's called a credit freeze. A credit freeze can be a massive event, especially if they can't get control over it, and fast. It locks everything up in the system. It's what was happening in 2008, but they were able to get in there quick and keep it from locking the entire system up. This scared them. It really scared them. This is what I call a deflationary spike event. It's one and the same with a credit freeze, pretty much. Except the only difference between what I call a deflationary spike event and a credit freeze is they're not exactly the same thing. You can have a deflationary spike event, what I call a deflationary spike event, which is basically just a flash crash in all the markets, where somebody goes bankrupt and he sends somebody else spiraling bankrupt, and then it creates contagion within the system. That's a deflation. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll have a credit freeze. But in this case, with such over leverage in the system, this is what the sudden effect could be of when it all comes to a head, when all of this interest rate hikes finally hit. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of something that happens to kids. They get in their father's, they find the key someplace to their father's liquor cabinet. He's away from home. You know, there's vodka in there, there's gin, there's rum, and there's everything you can think of. No, the kids, they don't know any better. They've unlocked the cabinet now, they're in there. And one kid, he starts swigging the stuff down. So he swigs down a half a bottle or whatever. What happens? Nothing. He says, I feel fine. That's because the stomach forms a mucus layer around it. It takes a while for that alcohol to make its way through that mucus layer. This is the way with what we are right now. We're fine. But all of those hikes are cumulative, just like shots of liquor. And it's already been done. And the cumulative effect is going to hit pretty soon. It ain't going to be pleasant. You know, seriously. Moving on. New footage reveals wreckage of F-35 jet amid speculation of potential cyber attack. What did bring that F-35 jet down? Hey, that thing's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, for crying out loud. An F-35 Lightning, too. Boy, that sounds fancy. F-35 Lightning 2. Fancy smancy. How much did it cost? But what I'm concerned about here is what they said, and you can take this for what you guys think of it. It says here on this post, it says Green Hill Software produces the Integrity 178V operating system. So it's Green Hill Software that powers the F-35. It also powers the F-22. It also powers the F-16. And it says it powers the B-2. It also powers the Airbus 380. Now that's the one that got me, is the Airbus 380. Do you guys know that the Airbus 380 is a very popular airplane at the airports? You've probably, well, if you've flown any amount, you might have ridden on an A380. They're a big jet. And they're an Airbus. And these are the ones sometimes that go across the oceans, a lot of times, or fly from coast to coast without stopping. That's an Airbus 380. And so it says that the Green Hill software, the Integrity 178B operating system is what they use. And it says it was also quite possibly leaked. And it says, now you understand why the entire U.S. Marine Corps air fleet has been grounded. Well, shouldn't they get out there and ground those Airbus 380s too? If they're using the same software? I'm just saying. Of course, I mean, one of those Airbus 380s can carry like, I think, 280 passengers or something. Boy, what a tragedy that would make if one of them went down. They don't have any ejection cockpit seat that can save the pilot's life like the F-35 does. There's a button or something there, and the pilot can hit it, and poppy, his seat goes pooey up into the air, and a big parachute comes out, and he floats down to the ground safely. They don't have that luxury on an Airbus 380 for us. We're packed in there like a bunch of sardines, and we don't even know how to get the mast to hang down from the ceiling quite properly. Well, we do, but who wants to go through that? If that happens, and your operating system on your airplane is gone, you're going down anyway, whether you pop those things out, those masks out or not. You can put the mask on all you want. If you're heading at the ground at 800 miles an hour, it ain't going to help you any. I think that's for landing on the ocean anyway, isn't it? Chinese foreign minister is to visit Russia for security talks. Oh, yeah, security talks. I've seen them. They were bringing in Kim Jong-un, too, there last week. And now they're bringing in the Chinese foreign minister. They're having some big plans. They're over there and they're behind the scenes and they're making plans for the West's demise. They're thinking, how can we go about it the best way? How can we bring the whole West down without even using military action even? I mean, they're sitting over there and they're doing the as they call it, Sun Tzu or something like that, the art of war. they're doing their thing and they're making their plans. Look out for what comes next. China now here's what might be coming next. This might be a part of the whole thing right here, all tied in together. It says China flies 103 military planes toward Taiwan in a new high of activity. In the island, the Taiwanese people are calling it harassment. So they're buzzing Taiwan right now. And this is China's real target rate. Oh, they'd love to have Taiwan. And they're thinking to themselves, wait until the West is at their weakest moment. General Minhan already has warned us. He's wrote a letter to from the Pentagon. They even say when they think it's coming. So this is something you should really take seriously. The Nipah virus. Everybody's worried about this right now. All you guys are worried. Oh, I'm worried too. But it appears like this outbreak is under control. But here's what I want to say. I didn't know this virus actually existed until a week or two ago. Now I've found out about it. This is an extremely dangerous virus. And one of the reasons why it's so dangerous is it can be incubating in a person for a long time, weeks. And all the people that person's talking to could get infected. It's a possibility, I say. It could get infected. So how many contacts would that person have in like a month? Oh, maybe they're going into the mall and touching things and walking around here and walking around there. Maybe they even took a flight or a bus someplace 100 miles away, talked to 100 different people there during the month when they don't know, and then all of a sudden they get sick because it's been incubating in them. And then they've spread it to 1,000 other people, which are going 1,000 other places while it's incubating in them. And then some of the people only have this virus asymptomatic. They don't even know they have it, like carriers and stuff. So congratulations to the Indians for stopping this thing, because it kills like, oh my, it's very, very deadly, extremely deadly virus. And the only reason they probably stopped it is because it hasn't mutated into a more contagious version yet. I say yet. Of course, generally when viruses mutate into a more contagious version, generally it's not quite as deadly. But here's the thing about it. With a virus that's this deadly, I heard like it can be up to 70% of the people drop dead with it that get it. It could mutate into a more contagious but less deadly version and still be very deadly. And of course, then again, you got to consider too. I bet you laboratories are getting a hold of this thing. Gosh knows the gain of function and everything else that they're able to do nowadays in these laboratories. All I can say is what a world. But for now, they've got this outbreak under control. This is a virus we're going to have to keep our eyes on. This is a very dangerous virus. Taking a look now at the silver price. 23.13. It's down 9 cents on the day so far. It's an awfully cheap silver price right now. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is at 19.33. It's down 20 cents on the day so far. And we're going to take a look at cryptocurrencies now and see where we're at with them. Taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 27,250. And it's been up the last couple of days, you know. Ethereum is at 1647. And we're looking at XRP at 50.9 cents. So it's almost 51 cents for XRP now. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 246 points on the day at 34,378. Taking a look at oil. Oil is $92.81. It's up $1.33. So it's heading for $100. Bonds are up. 10-year is 4.34. It's up 2.4 basis points, and the 30-year is up 4.41, and it's up 1.4 basis points. And taking a look at the U.S. dollar index is at 105.03, and the dollar's going along steady right now, but it's very high. Well, that's your show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Glad to have you guys here. I really appreciate my audience out there. You guys have a really nice afternoon. And we'll catch you guys in the next show, and have a great day. Bye-bye.